After 5 years of minimalism, here are 50 of my key lessons and hacks for a simpler, clutter-free life. You don't have to do everything. Pick a few and implement them. The 2-day rule. I first heard it from Matt Davella about 5 years ago. The idea is simple. Never skip 2 days in a row. I adapted it for myself, made it a day's rule, because I go to the gym 3 times a week and it's easier to count that way. If you're building a new habit and want consistency, and growth usually comes from consistency, don't skip 2 days in a row. If you go to the gym 5 times a week, you can miss 1 day. The key is not letting 1 day turn into 2, then 3, 4, and 5. I tuned it even further. Never skip more than 3 days. That range gives you flexibility without letting the habit die. Set a hard boundary. Never skip more than 2 to 3 days. It's a gentle brain hack. Draw the line and don't cross it. Your habits will live longer. Evening reset. I hate this light. One of my favorite habits. Every night before bed, load the dishwasher or wash the dishes by hand. Clear the counters. Pick up what's on the floor. 5 minutes to reset the house. Not perfect cleaning, just a sweep. It changes the morning and stops chaos from spreading. We have 2 small kids. Things can spiral fast. A 5-minute pre-sleep tidy and the don't go to bed in total mess rule keep the clutter from piling up, and our day doesn't start with stress and cleaning. This move is a game changer and makes cleaning much easier. The house on fire rule. Most people use about 20% of their things 80% of the time. You see it everywhere. Clothes, the work tasks that actually make money, and so on. In minimalism, it's stark. 20% of items are in constant rotation, the other 80% are not. If you remove those 80% or even half of them, you'll likely never miss them. Early on, I deliberately hunted for that 80% I barely used, and let it go. Nearly everything left either serves a purpose, saves time, brings me joy, or makes life easier. The rest are items I released. The 20/20 rule. If you can replace an item for under $20 in under 20 minutes, let it go. This isn't about wastefulness. But if you own 27 mugs and haven't used most of them for 6 to 12 months, what if 27 people visit at once? Let them go. Decision-making gets radically simpler. And honestly, I don't even know 27 people. The box. One of my favorite tactics. We always keep a box at home. If something fits the rules above and we want to release it, even if it's not a decluttering day, into the box it goes. Every couple of weeks or once a month we drop the box at a charity, and the cycle starts again. It keeps a steady outflow of non-essentials and stops clutter from accumulating. Invest differently. This is the worst shot of my entire career. Let's go. Since embracing minimalism and focusing on what matters, and there isn't that much of it, we stopped gifting things, especially for birthdays and Christmas. Instead, we invest in freedom and experiences. The money we could spend on stuff we put into buying freedom or memories, trips, walks, time outdoors. Often it costs next to nothing. Experiences, cheap or free, almost always beat another shirt or an expensive trinket. Same for holidays. Instead of objects, we give experiences. We go somewhere together or gift certificates for activities. Not another item that ends up on a shelf and in the trash a few months later. Give every item a home. Simple rule, tricky in practice. There are always address-less items. They land on tables and in boxes. We've got a couple of those boxes right now. Don't know where to put it, but we have to keep it. I'll still find them a place because our rule is every item gets an address. The mug has a spot so it doesn't linger on the table. Keys, wallet, kids' toys, spots too. Things often lie around because I don't know where they belong. Give everything an address and things stop living wherever. Magic. Do it and life gets easier. Work smarter, not harder. When I started automating as much of home and work as possible, and learning tools that save time, I suddenly had hours back. I used to think, work harder, harder, harder. Terrible universal advice. In reality, 20% of effort gives 80% of the result. We waste a lot of time. I automated bill pay, work processes, and learned new tools, including AI. AI frees up ridiculous amounts of time. Helps write scripts, ideate thumbnails, and even generate images and videos for social. While some people are scared or waiting it out, The market is exploding with openings. We need people who can drive AI tools and turn simple inputs into business results. And no, you don't have to be a programmer. Mikhail Kristosenko's school is launching a free 5-day course on neural networks. In 6 years, they've trained over 100,000 specialists. In just 5 days, you'll learn to create content and sell it to businesses, build sites, decks, images, and videos that pay up to 50,000 RUB on freelance. You'll also learn to automate routines so you work less and earn more, manage different AI models, and find projects for extra income. As a result, you can make 30,000 to 100,000 RUB a month with minimal friction. Link in the description, don't postpone. And we continue. This is especially relevant if you run a project or a business. What matters is that the job gets done. It doesn't have to be perfect or a BCD by the book. The outcome matters. I intentionally look for places to save maximum time on things I don't care about. I don't want to do something just because I'm used to it. I work smarter, not more. Choices and trade-offs. A principle that stuck. When you say yes to one thing, you automatically say no to another. Say yes to the banana, you say no to peanut butter. We grab what's in front of us. I became selective. If I say yes to a conference or a meeting, I'm saying no to time with my family. Tough but honest. Look beyond the obvious choice to the alternatives you're giving up. Be careful with your yes, it's a no to everything else. Training, diet, your daily plan. Say yes to scrolling, you say no to time with loved ones. Live intentionally, don't let life run on autopilot. That's why I sometimes go offline. If you don't do this, try it. Block time or even days when you're unavailable. At certain hours my phone doesn't work. Airplane mode, do not disturb, hide it in a cookie jar, whatever. Sometimes you need to wall off even from family for a couple of hours to get a solid block done. I head to an office where no one distracts me, and I'm hyper-productive there. Create windows of unavailability, phone-free, to move important things forward. Training, deep work, mental unload. Learn to be unavailable. This habit will change your life. One thing. Multitasking cuts productivity by up to 40%. It's not just doing multiple tasks at once. It's also chasing too many goals. To truly move forward, you need deliberate imbalance. Instead of goals in fitness, relationships, business, home, and hobbies, find the one that pulls the others up and go all in. Once you've hit it, switch. That's how I progressed. Don't dabble everywhere. Be a bit unbalanced for progress and pick the one thing that improves everything else. I recommend the book, The One Thing. It literally split my life into before and after. Avoid decision fatigue. We decide from wake to sleep. I set up my life to have fewer decisions, and to spend them on what matters. At night, I lay out clothes for tomorrow. I wear only black, grab and go. One less decision. If you can make one decision that eliminates 1,000 later, do that. Make your routines automatic, your decision fatigue will drop. Then you'll have energy for what matters, not 500 micro-choices before work. I love simplifying routines. It makes me feel better. The sunk cost effect. We keep things or keep doing things just because we already spent money or time, not because we need them or enjoy them. You buy a piece of clothing, don't like it, but keep wearing it because you paid. Ask yourself, do I like this? Would I buy it again? If the answer is no, you're clinging to the past. Letting go gives you mental space, time, and energy back. Stack of wins. It's like voting for who you want to become. I became a person who goes to the gym by carving out a few months and training almost daily, at least 5 times a week. Every time I crossed the gym threshold and did a 30-minute session, I cast a vote for a new identity. A couple of months later, I looked back and realized I've become who I was voting for. Small, consistent actions, that's what changes your life. Same with food, same with keeping the house in order. Exploration. I first met the idea in essentialism. Try different things and search for your fit. Looking back, I tested a ton. And because of that, many pieces clicked. Lots of business ideas until I found what works and what I love. Spoiler, YouTube. Different clothing styles. Until I realized I'm fine with all black. Openness to new things adds interest and helps you find better options. Anything that you might like, or that simplifies or improves your life. Do a big reset. The Great Reset. Thanks, Ryan. Every couple of months, I need to reboot areas of my life. I'm not a perfect minimalist, and things don't always run as I want. Sometimes we do a no by month. Nothing but essentials. Food, electricity, etc. Yes, it also saves money. Sometimes you need a detox from tech, extra activities, overwork. Sometimes you have to rearrange your room or the whole house. I recently did a month-long reset, wrote down the steps, and put together a free 30-day challenge. Try it and rebuild your life. If you haven't reset in a while, it's not just pleasant. It tangibly lightens life. Link in the description. Learn to be alone. It can feel scary to be without music, podcasts, messages, like you're missing out. But if you accept silence and solitude, not the same as isolation, your brain unloads and stress drops. Limit social media. If you feel lonely or anxious, cutting socials can help. There's research on this. When I catch myself doom scrolling, I reset. Never regretted it. A week without Instagram, you won't miss anything. If it's not just socials but screens in general, schedule screen time. TV only at certain hours. Phone use limited to specific rooms and scheduled windows. Productivity and happiness rise almost effortlessly. High-quality leisure. I recently gave up video games and most TV, and replaced them with sports, friends, and activities. Getting started is the hardest, but I always feel better than after an hour on the couch. Resting is fine sometimes, but if it's 3 hours every day, swap it for a language, guitar, a skill, or a project. Way more fun and useful. Manage attention, not just time. The 90% rule. A radical take on Pareto from Essentialism. If something doesn't score 90 out of 100, it doesn't get into your life. That's how you choose commitments, clothing, food, everything. Anything under 90, pass. Everything popular is wrong. When I see a flood of ads, a buying frenzy, or Black Friday, I often do the opposite. Most people are overweight, depressed, and struggling with health and money. Walk the same path, end up in the same place. I look for another path, and it's often simpler. Don't upgrade without need. We live in the era of endless upgrades. A new phone drops. People buy because it's newer. The same money could reduce stress and buy freedom. If something isn't broken or worn out, I don't replace it until it's truly necessary. Enjoy your work. As a minimalist, I try to live by design, not by default. That's why I left office cleaning. It was my father's company. I grew up cleaning offices and simply slid into that work. It didn't make me happy and offered no prospects. So in evenings and on weekends, I started trying different options just to get out. Ask yourself, do you like your work? Was it a choice or just happened? Can you spend thousands more hours there? Do you really want that? Answer honestly. Value and fullness. Spend money on what truly gives value. I often ask, what would I choose? $10 of freedom or a burger? If I'm hungry, the burger. Better comparison. $1,000 compounding into freedom or a new phone? Understanding compounding changes decisions fast. I value freedom and life more than things. Clunky phrasing, but you get it. Health and usefulness. I always invest money, time, and energy into health. For example, we buy meat from a nearby farm. We all feel noticeably better than after store-bought. We're willing to pay more for how we feel. Feeling your best is worth it. Be intentional. Be ultra-aware with time and money. Check every time. Does this match your goals? Life and money are limited. Use them wisely. And yes, a little healthy selfishness helps. Like on a plane, mask yourself first, then help others. If you're not okay mentally and physically, it's hard to be the best partner, parent, or teammate. If your home feels tense, you probably have too much stuff. What can you do? Option 1. Ruthlessly collect the suspects into a box. Stash it in the attic/garage, and set a 6-month reminder. Didn't touch it? Into the trunk and to charity. Simple brain trick to declutter. I do it regularly. Even after 5 years of minimalism, I still find it hard sometimes, so this works. Option 2. Invite a tidy friend, someone not attached to your things, to come for an hour or a day. Give you a loving slap, and call out everything you were gifted but haven't tried in 8 years. It helps a lot. Quality over quantity. Less but better, especially with clothes. I usually have 2 pairs of shoes, 1 winter jacket, a minimum of pants and tees, but better quality and a bit pricier. Cheap is often uncomfortable and rips quickly. In the end, cheap costs more, you keep rebuying. Sometimes it's better to buy once for 5 to 10 years than forever chase sales. Same with tech. Less but better. Learn to love boredom. Many hate it, but boredom isn't evil. We need more do-nothing time, and zero guilt for a half hour of emptiness. Don't stuff these pauses with noise and tasks. Leave space. Let your mind wander. Daydream, like in childhood. One of the best practices out there. Separate work and life as much as possible. If you work from home or bring work home, try to keep it in the office/laptop/phone. Not all over the house. Massive mental relief. I'm working on it too. It's hard not to think about work 24/7 when you run a business. But that relief is necessary for your mental health. Digital decluttering. Last week this area was buried under digital junk. I spent half a day cleaning my online spaces and phone. Life and work got easier, stress dropped. I find what I need faster. Folder structure, everything in its place. If you haven't cleaned your digital in a while, it's time. Notifications off. Since turning off all notifications except family, I'm on my phone less, I'm less distracted, I work better, and I'm present in conversations. The phone doesn't buzz mid-talk or mid-work. I choose when to respond. I don't jump at every ping. The 2-minute rule. 2 applications. First, for a new habit, commit only to the first 2 minutes. 1 page of a book. Get in the car and drive to the gym, then you can turn around. Second, for dangling tasks. Anything that takes under 2 minutes, do it now. Wash that plate, hang that picture, finally move the thing that lives in the hallway. Stress drops instantly. Don't chase numbers. In minimalism, it's easy to get stuck counting. Someone's home looks like a magazine. Someone owns 150 items, and you have 2,000. I'm doing it wrong. If you catch yourself comparing, let it go. Ruthlessly. The 90-90 rule. A great decluttering hack. If you haven't used an item in the last 90 days and don't plan to in the next 90, let it go. Decisions get easier. 1 in, 1 out. 1 thing enters the home, 1 leaves. It blocks accumulation and often stops the purchase itself. I'll have to remove something. Want it tougher? Make it 2 out. Works great too. If you like this video, you'll love this one. Like and subscribe. It really helps the channel grow. And join our Telegram, there's a lot of useful stuff from Gabe.